Good evening, YouTube. My name is Anthony,
And I'm Tara.
and today we want to come to you to talk about interstates versus backroads.
We have a channel. It's called This Little Life. Please like and subscribe on our channel. We talk about trucking, we talk about DIY, and just all things our lifestyle.
Correct.
Life on the road.
So, we had a situation over the week. In fact, we've been trucking for about 3 years now, and we be using our regular GPS, meaning telephones, iPads, to navigate around the world in our trucking business. And sometimes our GPS lead us down unlikely roads. You know what I mean? And today we want to discuss, if you're out there trucking or even if you're driving in your car, because it still try to take you through shortcuts. So we want to talk about interstate versus back roads in the trucking business. I like to take interstates. And the reason why I like to take interstates is because it keeps us on the road where everybody is traveling. You got gas stations, you got hotels, and if a situation happened to occur with the truck, like a tire blowout, an engine fail, and things of that nature, we on a road where everybody travels. So,
So to speak. So to speak. Because sometimes traveling on the interstate, it's still dark, and but he's saying like you have a better opportunity of getting assistance or getting to a place, safe space.
yeah, and also because there are two-way highways, which allow for me to be able to get more mileage on those two-way highways versus those back roads, which are two-lane highways.
Sometimes.
No, I mean it's all the time for me because, uh, well, only way I like to travel on two-way lanes is during the when it's daylight outside. At nighttime, it could be real difficult.
Well, I was telling him I don't necessarily feel like it's always an issue. I do agree it could be a safety concern if there's nothing, no hotels, no rest stops, maybe limited gas stations or bathroom areas. Those are the issues with when he says back roads. You got your interstates and you have your routes, like where like a Route 66 could be considered a highway, but it's still maybe a back road for what his perspective is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because back roads to me is just a conglomerate of a lot of roads of like shortcuts that the GPS is trying to get you to take in order to get to your destination a little bit more faster. The problem comes in is we in a truck. We in a big old uh 28 foot 13.6 high box truck. And sometimes when you're traveling on those back roads, you got wires that's hanging. It's like you going through regular communities. And I know that these trucks really shouldn't be back there. But there are situations where we see semi trucks coming through those areas and they flying. And you know what I'm saying? They flying. But those are those are where trucks are allowed to go. But the GPS will take you off of those truck lanes and take you through neighborhood lanes.
Right.
And that's where the problem, you know what I'm saying, comes in at. In the daylight, I have no problem. I do. You know what I'm saying? But when you're doing a long haul, that daylight start becoming dim. You know what I mean? And now you out there in no man's land. And me, I'm just keeping it 100. Not to sound racist or anything, but I'm a black man. And, you know, we going through the wilderness of Georgia, Kentucky, Texas, all of those kind of areas where we know that the Klan so happens to reside. You know what I mean? And, you know, hey, I'm not trying to be hanging from no tree, you know what I'm saying, just because of the color of my skin or I took the wrong turn, you know what I'm saying? But through daylight, you know what I'm saying? You know, of course, that's the reason why they came up with that terminology, sundown. You know what I mean? I don't want to be traveling through those areas sundown and stuff like that. But we have did that. And it's been, man, down at 3 o'clock at night, you know what I'm saying, as we traveling through, you know, these fields and stuff. And so, even though in the States it may put another hour, you know what I'm saying, on your time to get to your destination where you need to go, I'm still team Interstate because of all the reasons that I just got to explain. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes, even though it may seem like it's an extra hour that the interstate is putting on you when you're trying to get to your location, by it still being a two-way highway, it allows for your mileage, your speed, you know what I'm saying, to be able to break that hour down in no time where it don't even feel like you have done an extra hour. That's for me. You know.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree, but I do feel like if you can cut your time and you're on the highway, and it's not the interstate, but there are like back roads that are highways and they may be 2-lane roads and turn into 1 lanes at some point to become a route, then that's where he is not satisfied with driving.
Well, that's only like that, you know what I'm saying, when it's dealing with nighttime. So you still would prefer to be on those routes?
I think if it reduces
at nighttime?
timing, if it's not seemingly unsafe and then you got bathrooms, like areas of
Well,
resting.
you already know on those back roads, it's like your father cowboy movies that he watch all the time. It's like them saloons. You be like, damn, do people really got saloons like that still out here? You know, or as my brother would say, it's like the Bates Motel.
There has been some gas stations that we may see that still truck stops that may be operating, but it may be every 50 miles to 100 miles sometimes, where we see, you know, gas stations on roads like that sometimes.
Right.
And that's the downfall of traveling on those routes. But you may save yourself an hour and a half in travel time. And
so, do you like traveling on those roads during the daylight time or the nighttime? Or it doesn't matter at all to you?
I don't feel like it's been a big issue, but I can understand where you may be uncomfortable.
Well, why you don't feel like it's been a big issue?
Like so far, we haven't had a bad experience. We just it's been we've been fortunate to not have any breakdowns, But those are the things that we are putting out to say to be considerate of issues that could happen that you don't think about when you press for time. In this industry, it's all about timing sometimes. And that's why, sometimes people may take a chance and go in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying just to kind of stay on interstate roads is the best way you can manage to get to your load.
Yeah, I feel like, and it's for safety reasons for why I would prefer in the States over those back roads.
Especially considering being trapped in the ditch in Kentucky.
Exactly. I was gonna bring that up. You know what I'm saying? And that experience that we had out there and how eerie that feeling was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, when we look at other people lives out here on the road that wasn't happened to them and what's occurring in the world and stuff like that today, I think, precaution is everything. See, I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? I know how other men deal with men and stuff out
Right.
there. By her being a female, you know what I'm saying? There are not too many people that probably gonna feel like, uh, where they want to do something to a female, but that's not true too. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
true.
So
I mean, maybe I feel more protected because we're together.
yeah,
But I'm not oblivious to things that are still happening in this day and age. But I just, until he brought it to my attention, I didn't look at it like, okay, it's a big deal to go on a back road. Besides, when it's not the best construction on that street, like if those roads are raggedy, then I don't like when we traveling on them.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's more like a highway, even he still wants to stay on the interstates, like your major, like if you're familiar with any major interstates, like your 24s, your 40s, your 75s, your 70s, your 25s, your 12s, your 10, your 15, your 5, route I-80.
Those are your major interstates.
Right, and 65, he wants to stay on those. They are blue and red on the map, and here's the atlas.
The atlas, yeah.
But the other, what we're saying that I'm comfortable with are your routes, which are these. Point these out, and these are, put it up there. Those are like your highways in the white. And those can be the same as an actual interstate. Sometimes those roads function similarly to a real interstate, but it may not be as lit up.
Sometimes.
And it's not as much traffic on those roads, and that's where he has the concern.
Yeah. See, I don't have a problem because we have traveled on those roads. But being a little bit more seasoned, I realized that something could happen in the middle of nowhere out there on those back roads. And you may not see too many people coming through there, too much traffic coming through there. And the signal on your phone
That too.
You know, it's not working properly.
Man, yeah.
You know, so during the daytime, and I don't have to go too far to get to my destination, I will use those back roads to navigate.
Yeah.
But when it's dark outside, you know, I'd rather take that extra hour and go on around like I did just recently.
Going to Texas.
Going to Texas.
Colorado.
I mean, we was coming from Utah to Dallas, Texas, and they had us traveling south all the way through New Mexico and all that, you know, and
well, we missed our exit for the interstate. So he was taking the 25, coming from the 80 from Colorado to go to Dallas, Texas. We were supposed to go from the 25 to the 70, but instead we missed our stop. Listening to something in a heated debate about something. We missed our turn and kept straight on the 25, which led us through the storms.
Yeah, through the storms of New Mexico. You know. Now, don't get me wrong. When you on those back roads, you gonna see some of the most beautiful creations that God has created. As far as the mountains, trees, the animals, the vast land, the sun that's shining so bright, and you elevated where you literally feel like you could just touch the clouds and stuff. You'll get a good scenic view, you know, but that's only in the daytime. That's only in the daytime, you know. Now I know that, you know, like I say, during the nighttime I see truckers all the time, you know what I'm saying, blowing up and down there, but it's very few truckers that's taking those back roads at nighttime. The majority of the truckers are on interstates, you know, and that's something that I prefer. So if y'all having, you know what I'm saying, a problem with, you know, your GPS and you trying to find the best routes and all this to get to your location, like my brother told me, I'ma zeal you $20. I said, what you gonna zeal me $20 for? He said, so you can get you an atlas. An atlas. This here, you need to. I'm sorry. You need to really, really study this. Study it backwards and forward. Know the terminologies and everything that consists in this book if you're gonna be a trucker out here on this road.
Yeah, because you could be going. There are so many routes that you could take that your GPS does not tell you, and you could map it out on your own if you know the interstates. I mean, because
we done been in situations where we came somewhere like, oh, okay, well, there go to 40 right there. We know that, you know what I'm saying, the 40 go take you all the way, man, to Oklahoma City. You know what I mean? And from there, we'll take the 35 and go down into Houston. You know? So, even if because sometimes your GPS won't give you all the routes. You know what I'm saying? So, if you familiar and you knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying, with the atlas and stuff like that, you should have no problem with navigating through this terrain.
Because that's something that you showed me in terms of looking on the atlas, and you have multiple ways that you could be able to pinpoint without even realizing you're going to probably have less traffic on certain highways in dealing with certain cities.
Yeah.
If you choose certain interstates.
Yep.
And the more you drive, the more you will be familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
But think it's probably key to stay on the interstates just because of safety and signal for your phone.
Mhm. So I mean, this is our analysis. When it comes to interstate versus back roads. I mean, if you YouTubers out there have other advice that y'all could give us or whatnot, we got open ears, to hear, what's going on with you.
Chime in and tell us what you think your opinion is about interstates versus the
Back roads.
in routes. Yeah.
So we just want to thank y'all for listening to us today, and we look forward to hearing from y'all on what y'all think about it.